Free will. What is that? I know what free will could be for non-Christians, but Christians in itself, you have no free will. If you're serving the Abrahamic God, you have no free will. Some of y'all don't know what the Abrahamic God is. If you don't serve the God of the Bible, you don't have free will. But he gives us choice. He gives us choice. No, he does not. When you have free will, that means you can make a choice, several choices, without punishment. Now, you may have the freedom to choose what you do throughout your day, things like that. All of that stuff is just programmed, right? But here is your ultimatum. You only have the choice to serve God or go to hell. That's not a choice. That's an ultimatum. Serve me or I'm going to do this to you. Serve me or you're going to burn in hell. Serve me or face eternal damnation. That's not a choice because it is based off of a punishment. You cannot make a decision outside of that. And that, my friend, is an ultimatum.
Okay. The free will of God is different from that of men. When God created everything, heaven, earth, hell, yes, He created it for His own self, for His purpose, so that everything should make reference to Him. Look at, He created us specially. He created earth, yes, and put us in charge so that we can take care of it. We are obviously caretaker, but He put His image in us so that we can do what He did. We can think like Him. We can think like Him. We can take care of this earth the way He's taking care of heaven. Look at, let's open the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 28. This one says, God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and be fruitful and increase in numbers, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over fish in the sea, in the birds, and in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. Okay. Yes, that's what verse 26 says that. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds of the sky, over livestock and over all wild animals. God created everything and put His image in us. Look at, because let us make man in our image and in our likeness, to behave like God. That is not likeness, to act in a way of God. That is what God did. He created us in His image and His likeness. So, the way heaven is being beautified, that is the way earth will be beautified. That's the way you're going to do this. Look at, when God created everything, He gave it to man that man should name. What free will is better than that? It was when man sinned. After the sin of man, law came to be. Now, another nature came in, the self nature, the human nature. After man ate from the fruit of good and evil, yes, he has a nature apart from God, and this nature would makes us ignorant about everything God did. The image of God makes us have the knowledge of God. Why the nature that we got, the human nature we got after we've left the nature of God, makes us ignorant. It makes us ignorant of spiritual things, makes us ignorant of physical things, and it makes us a slave into what God said we should subdue. It makes us a slave into it. We are a slave to ourselves. Most of us can't control our impulse. When there's no peace, there's no, can we call that free will? Yes, you might be free today, tomorrow you don't know what will happen because you can't say what is going to happen. We can't actually predict what is going to happen. Can we call that free will? See, God is in control of everything. So the Bible says that God, that child, give me your heart. Yes, God just wants our heart, and by faith we walk with God. Look at Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. We walk with God by faith. So it is not by work, it is not by law. Jesus Christ said, love God with all your heart and all your mind and your strength. Yes, by our faith, or the fruit of our work will come out. By our faith, we do what pleases God. By faith, we do what pleases God. Not by commandment, not by law of Moses. See, the law of Moses will let us see that, let us know that we are evil, that we are not up to God's standard. But the faith given to us by Jesus Christ will make us free from that of the law. The law won't be able to control us again. Flesh won't be able to control us again. Look at John 3, verse 3 to 5. It talk about John 3 when Nicodemus came. Just Christ said, be born of flesh. If that is born of flesh, is controlled by flesh. But if that is born of spirit, is controlled by spirit. That was just Christ. If you are born of the spirit, you are born of God. Yes, you are actually born of God. Then the things you won't be a slave to forces of nature. You won't be a slave to humanity. You won't be a slave to forces of nature. You won't be a slave to yourself. You control your impulse, what you want, the fornication, the sin that God does not like. See, it's either you are for God or you are for darkness. It's either you are for God or you are for darkness. Satan is a child of darkness. So if you follow yourself, it will lead you to a place called hell. It will lead you to a place called hell. Or you are for God, and that way, if you are for God, to lead you to God Himself. See, it's either you meet God or either you meet darkness. And where is darkness? Hell. Hell is darkness. So God's free will is best. It's either you have God's free will and control everything God created, or have self free will that you don't know where you're going to end up. And self free will end up in hell. Self free will end up in hell. That is all what I have to say. That is what I have to say. Thank you.